us a little bit about you. Like, I want the juicy story bits, not the bio that we can all read. So like, who are you really? And, just some groovy story. And then more particularly tell us, your session is gorgeous, but why? Why do you want someone to actually watch it?
So I have dressed over 50,000 men and helped them look, feel, and be their best in the last 40 plus years. And I still do that. I'm a personal stylist for men, and I love doing that. And I'm a coach for men. I've done that for a long time. And then in great part, things that you helped me with, I now coach women on how to speak the way men listen. Women are always complaining that the men don't understand them, they don't hear them, they tune them out. And there's actual science behind why they feel that way. It's not the truth, but it's their perception of the truth. And there's a reason behind that. So I coach women on that to help them get and have and do and be everything they want to be as well. And the session is based around that and just showing the joy that you can have when you release the need to be right, the need to, so many things that women, we as women and men too, of course, can release that allow us to be our best self and understand where the men are coming from and how to have them understand you, how to speak the way they listen. Because I've done it for so many years. And I've had men forever say, I wish my wife understood me like you do, or I wish my wife could get to the point like you do, just different things like that. So that's why it's important to me, because I want to help women be their best. And by being understood, that's a great step in the right direction.
Anita, I love that. So let's just say I want to learn all of this. What do you think the point is? Like, what do I ultimately get, do you think, if I'm really understood?
You'll get everything you want in your life when you are clearly understood. It will open the channels for abundance. It opens the channels for understanding. There's a song I love at church that's like to care more about understanding than to be understood. I love that song. It's one of my favorites. But it's really important to be understood to get what you want. Women, and one of the talks that I do, women, I got a t-shirt many years ago that said, when a woman says, go away and leave me alone, she really means that she needs a hug. So how is a man supposed to understand that? Women oftentimes speak in hints and clues and whining and too much talking or pouting. So there's all kinds of things that we as women do, most women do at some point in time, that shuts men down. And there's a way that just opens the gates to have them understand and embrace everything you say. One woman I worked with recently, and she's my favorite of all the clients I've ever had, I think, because we had a trifecta with her, because now her husband said, after 22 years, you finally get me, because they were about to get a divorce. They now have renewed their vows. Her boss promoted her to project manager, and they'd never promoted a woman before. And he said, I just love the way you see things and the way you communicate. And that was after about 5 weeks of working with her. And her teenage son had not spoken to her in 2 years. He had no use for her. He only rolled his eyes when she said anything. And now he's like, hey, Mom, I need your advice on something. She said, that's the most valuable of the 3 things that have happened to her with the coaching. So it allows you to be authentic, be who you are, not play games, frees you up, and you will have, be, do, give everything you want. It just opens it all up. It's so easy, but it's not simple. I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. Backwards.
Love that. I love that, and I love you, right? So let's just show a little bit of your session, and I'll hopefully guide everybody how to even find it, right? So as you can see, I'm logged in. I would say log out and refresh and give yourself a chance to start a new session with Positive Prime. So I just click log in again and we'll go back here. So you arrive on the dashboard page, right? And so let's just say, you can see that I've been very good at watching my sessions. You can see that we have a search button up the front, up the top. And I know this lovely lady's name is Anita Green. And so I can put Anita in there, but maybe I don't know her name and I can go, well, she was talking about men and being understood and, oh, wow, guess what? I can find her as well. And you can learn a little bit more about Anita and you can actually read her bio. The most important part I want you to understand about a Positive Prime session is that it's a very complex, very sophisticated formula that is delivered by a very special player, and that player is completely proprietary technology. And it does something super interesting. Well, actually it does 4 things that are really super interesting. The first thing is it gives you control over the speed at which it plays. So number 1 is variable speed, and we'll talk about why that's so critical. Number 2 is actually what we call randomization, reshuffling, right? So this is about how the actual science of rapid transformation occurs and how magical manifestation can really be a true thing for you. So then number 3 is what we would actually call our standard formula. And our standard formula for the foundation of the images and the words and so forth. And then number 4 would really be personalization, right? So let me just go through a little bit of it. Personalization allows me, and in your case, it'd be you, to actually have the identity integrated with the messages so that you more easily accept them. And it actually literally, from an energetic point of view, puts me in connection with Anita. When I watch Anita sessions and I see my photographs, particularly of me, integrated within the content, it's actually appearing randomly inside the content. I actually have what Anita is saying to me literally resonating with me at a completely more advanced, more enhanced level, right? So does that make sense? So personalizing is super important. So we click personalize. I happen to have lots of photographs of me that I've uploaded. In fact, lots and lots and lots of photographs of me. Lots and lots and lots of photographs of everything and everyone I'm grateful for. All the experiences that I've had in my life where I've literally been blessed and gifted and fortunate and lucky. And I've got images that represent that. I've also got other images that remind me of my goals. So you can see this is a little bit blurry. This is actually a photo of me and my other half, Cameron. And we were actually with Sean Acor and his wife and their first child in their home in Dallas, Texas. Imagine that. And so this is a photo of a very special Sunday morning after church with them. These next 2 photos are actually, this is me taking a photograph of the weights and the exercise equipment that my trainer has me using in my own home with my exercise. This is actually an inspiration I got from another man by the name of Willpower Harris. His actual brand is Willpower Harris. And he was talking about who are you if you're the kind of person who would receive a Nobel Prize, and what would you actually need to contribute to humanity? And I thought it was amazing. So I went to Google and I actually got this image and I saved it and I've uploaded it. But there are literally pages and pages and pages and pages of photographs. I'll go all the way to the end. See this, 182 pages of photographs I have. You might not be quite as intense as me. I'm going to just select that one and I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to select some others. This is me. This is me with my family, me with my husband. This is the view from our home. This is me in Hawaii. This is me with Howard Martin from Heart Math. I don't know if you know that organization. Anyway, this is me and my mom. This is me when I lived in Paris as a young woman. And this is me having dinner with Sean Acor at the Four Seasons in Las Vegas after something. This is me with Jack Canfield. This was actually when we started to work together. Me and Mike Dooley, you know, the man from the Notes of the Universe. Anyway, whatever. And I've actually uploaded, this is me graduating from business school. This is me in Sardinia. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, when I play this session, it actually has me integrated into it. So I talk about how happy I am. Now, you probably can't hear the music, but I love this music. Let me share it. Who wants to do a little boogie? Can you hear it? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to mute that for a minute. I can go big screen and I can go small screen, right? The faster this transitions before my eyes, the more likely it is that the parts of my brain that usually reject or resist new information that's unfamiliar, that my survival instinct actually determines could harm me, and so it protects me, it actually tries to save me. I actually want that out of the way because I want to actually receive new and fresh information that is unfamiliar, because everything stays the same. And what happens? You get the same results, right? So you have to have all that is as yet unknown to you available to you. And interestingly enough, from a neuroscience or brain science point of view, it doesn't and can't happen unless you view something at speed and you're bypassing these aspects of your brain that usually are very critical and very judgmental, and it's like they're the stop sign. Well, we need to actually remove the stop sign. And this is how you do it. You go faster. I'm going to tell you something really fascinating. At about speed 9, if I'm wearing one of these very, very fancy EEG devices, I can actually see that my brain very quickly drops into a completely beautiful, harmonious, healthy state. And at speed, what I know from a quantum point of view is that everything that I'm seeing is actually like seeds planted in the other than consciousness, seeds planted out there in the universe. And now, because of that speed, I'm giving the universe an opportunity to reorganize all the resources, the people, the places, the circumstances, and the situation necessary to bring about my desires. Did you just see that photograph of you and me, Anita? You did. I love it. See, I've uploaded it as a personal one. I've uploaded lots of other photographs in here that are personal as well. And so a lot of people, when they first start watching a positive prime session, want to watch it slowly. Now, we're all control freaks, by the way, because we as human beings have an insatiable appetite to be right. It's actually part of our makeup. It's that very reptilian part about us, our ancient part of the way that we were formed. And so when we watch something on speed 1, we can actually discern the message and the intention of each and every single image and all of the words. And what happens is that we relax and we go, change your thoughts, change your word. Yes. And so you accept it, you allow it, you get into a state of appreciation. You have everything you desire in life. Now, what if that's not the truth? I don't have everything I desire in life. And so what will happen now is my brain will go in search of evidence to prove that statement right for me. And I will literally create in my world everything that makes that the truth, because we are truth-seeking and making beings. And so it becomes the self-fulfilling prophecy. And when you actually see a statement like that very quickly, what actually happens is that seed is planted in very fertile ground. And when that seed is planted in very fertile ground, it gets a chance. It gets a chance to go and have resources reorganized to bring about that such that it's the truth for you. It's really incredible. I mean, really incredible. Do you know of anything else on the planet that is like that? Just those little aspects, the personalization and the variable speed, and what it actually does to allow you to be in the gap, almost like the Zen master, really connected to the divine and playing in the matrix so effortlessly, so simply, so quickly, so easily. You didn't have to do anything. You just press play and uploaded a couple of photographs, right? woo, I would call that seriously magical. And so I sit here and I say, oh, thank goodness. All right, so I mentioned this thing called reshuffling or randomizing. You have to know what that is all about. All right, so every single time I press play on this particular session, all of the, let's call them frames or slides or flashcards, every single one of them plays in a different order. And what that means is I'm going to give you an example here because we're on speed one, right? So I see some photographs, and what's happening is my brain, your brain, it's actually taking an average of 8 images and then another 8 images, and it's collapsing them and kind of creating a theme from them. It's like our brain's actually doing an analysis. Now that's obviously Venice, well, not obviously. Put your mask on first with self-care. That's the oxygen mask as it drops down from the plane. You take care of you first, right? Now, if I've been to Venice and I see that, I attach the emotion of that to that statement. If I haven't yet been to Venice, but one day I'd like to go to Venice, I attach the desire to that statement. And then if there are other photographs before or after Venice and all that statement, the next time I watch it, the next time I watch it, and the next time I watch it, I actually get new neural connections to the same ideas. It makes us incredibly creative and resourceful. It is truly remarkable. Nothing on the planet can do something like this unless every single time you view what could be just a fancy slideshow, if you're not viewing every single one of those slides in a different order every time you view it, you cannot get a neuroplasticity effect. You can't get new neural connections being created in really marvelous ways that gives you a much broader repertoire for the way that you show up to life. Like, I think that that's phenomenal. Can you tell me, do you agree? Yeah. It happens for you. All you've got to do is sit there and relax and watch, and then watch it again. So I've been known to actually go here to the time area and say, look, I want to watch the next 37 minutes within the next 3 minutes. Okay, now it's going to speed it up and I'm going to see the whole of this inside the next 3 minutes. And guess what? Because I know how exquisite Positive Prime is, I will re-watch this session for another 3 minutes straight afterwards, and it's completely reshuffled. Now that is called stacking, accelerating, and amplifying. That's pouring fuel on the fire. And I would recommend that if you really want dramatic change in some areas of your life, that you do that. You could watch the same session 3 times, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and 5 minutes, completely reshuffled. It will be astonishing what will happen for you if you do that every day for 30 days. That's just one of the ways that you can use Positive Prime. So a couple of little questions come up often. Do I also always need to watch it fast or slow? Here's what I'd say. Listen to your heart and your soul. Feel the energy in your body and decide for yourself what is actually soothing you and nurturing you. Sometimes it could be going really fast. Sometimes it actually could be going really slow. Now, let's just say I have only a couple of minutes, right? Well, I might go back here and make it 60 minutes. And 60 minutes will now make that 37-minute piece that was 3 minutes. It'll spread it now back out over 60 minutes. So this is like super slow, isn't it? Can't you feel how slow this is? So slow. Well, what if I want to watch it so slow? What if I actually just want to sit there and go, wow, I can't wait to be in an environment like that and working with awesome people. Oh, I can't wait to appear on more podcasts. I love podcasts. Isn't it awesome? I love listening to podcasts. I can ask the divine to just drop into my awareness a really great podcast. Oh, I love color. Do you know, color makes me feel more joyful. And actually, I remember the time I was in India. And this is what happens, right? So you go on this beautiful journey when you watch it super slow. Well, let's just say I literally only have 5 minutes today, or maybe 1 minute. It's perfectly okay for you to watch 3 minutes slowly of a 60-minute piece. And then once you're finished your 3 minutes, that's so painfully slow for me, I can't tell you. It's literally giving me anxiety. It's going so slow because that's how impatient I am as a human being, right? So, like, oh, there's my beautiful Cameron. Oh, I do love Euros. There's Anita, gorgeous angel that she is. I feel better just seeing Anita's face. Look, so now, quite frankly, let's just say I've done my 3 minutes. I can literally X out of it, go back, click dashboard. I'm done. Thanks very much. Oh, actually, I do feel a lot better. Away we go. Very good, huh? Very good. Is there anything that I didn't explain that you really want explained? Like, who has a question? I'm here now to answer them. Any question? Any question? How many photographs of before do you need to put in, and how many photographs of the future? It depends. If you've had a really beautiful past and you've got these incredible, beautiful experiences that you want your vibration to be in the, I'm so blessed, I'm so lucky, I'm so fortunate, I'm so grateful, because you've got a photograph of a really fantastic vacation that you had. And you actually want to attach that energy to a future vacation you want to have. Then you need photographs of the vacation you want to go on, plus photographs of the vacation that you have been on. Do you know what I mean? If you want to meet really great people to work with, have some photographs of people you've worked with who've been really great. It's like you might have a photograph of your favorite client in there. Guess what the universe gets to feel? Oh, send you some more of those kinds of clients, right? Is having text on your images important? Great question. Are you Nicole? Is that Nicole I'm reading there? Text on your images is not necessarily important. What actually happens with our positive prime sessions, and we have like literally hundreds of them in all the different categories. Great, Nikki, thank you. You literally want to, I think, sit there and absorb the wisdom from people like Anita Green, first and foremost. See, people like Anita Green are so successful in their own way. And when I tap into that and we become like the 5 people we spend time with, if you believe Jim Rohn, or indeed we become, the new research says, like an average of all the people that we spend time with. Let's just say some of the people in your home environment or in your local community aren't the kinds of people that you aspire to spend the majority of your time with, right? Well, then I think you want to watch lots of positive prime sessions, lots of different positive prime sessions with lots of different people, right? Because you literally are them having their energy infused into your being, and you are spending your time with much better quality people, right? You can feel them coming through. And so there is something that's available to our annual members. Should I tell you what's available to our annual members? Hey, I'll show you super quickly. They're called super mixes, personal super mixes. So I actually have one. It's in my drop down menu. Let's just see. It would be Kim's personal super mix. And so I've chosen my favorite sessions, and Positive Prime has a whole team that creates these things called personal super mixes for our annual clients. And they get to choose all of the sessions they truly love, and we mix and merge them into one. Because I might love Anita, as I do, and I might want to go and watch Anita sessions every single day because I want to spend time with Anita. See, Anita doesn't even know that I spend time with her every single day. I do, every single day. I also spend time with, somebody else who's here, Lee Atherton, right? And Jack Canfield and Marissa Peer, right? So in my super mix, do you know I get to spend time with almost all of the Positive Prime professional leaders, all of our fantastic certified and super extraordinary human beings, because watch how long this takes to load. This is a patience game. Remember how I just told you that I'm not really great at patience? I'm happy because I'm spending time with all of you. But this takes ages and ages and ages and ages to load because it has tens of thousands of frames in it, right? And it has all of my 9,000 images uploaded into it. And so I might see one photograph of Anita and one photograph of Jack Canfield and one photograph of Marissa Peer and one, because I'm seeing just the tiniest percentage of her session and say Patty Krummer's session and say Nadine Hanshaw's session. And super mixes are my favorite things. And it means that I can do everything that I want to do all at once, which is so me. Mix and merge the lot, get it all, so we'll see how long that takes to load. When it starts to load, I'll come back, but it was just loading and loading and loading and loading and loading. Okay, so someone has a beautiful question here. I have 10 minutes in the morning to watch. Fantastic. You usually do 2 minutes fast, then 2 minutes slow, and then the other 6 minutes all the way to the end. Do you think that that is a good way of watching? Woo! I think it's an awesome way of watching because you're watching. All right. I want you to give yourself the super big hug, just like, oh, I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Just because you do it, right? Just because you do it. Oh, Belinda, if only you knew just how magical life will be for you within the next couple of years because you do it, right? Now, it works really, really quickly and it continues to work and it works all the time and it works every time, right? You have no idea. I promise you, you know why I know? Because it takes one to know one. And so I can share with you a little story. I have these experiences unfolding now that are because I've been manifesting in the gap, connected to the divine and literally playing in the matrix for years now. And I have just faithfully been watching Positive Prime sessions, and all of a sudden, absolutely massive, beyond comprehension, exquisite opportunity falls into my lap. And it will for you too. I am not a person who was born to a wealthy family or has a wealthy husband or went to an Ivy League university. Well, actually, that's not the truth. I did actually go to an Ivy League university here in Australia called Bond University, and our sister university is Duke University. So that's not exactly the truth. But I didn't go to the fanciest universities in the United States of America or in the United Kingdom. You know, the funny thing is that I really haven't had any advantages any more than most people. I've been through my own heartache and trauma, and I'm completely healed. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. You can have the most exceptional, outstanding, awe-inspiring moments of wonderment just because you're human and you are worthy and deserving because you are a divine being. And I think that what Positive Prime allows you to do is actually get into the sync of that. For some of us, we're a little bit more stubborn than others. That'd be me included. I was the girl who's dug my heels in. You said no, and I said, watch me, right? My poor parents, right? Seriously. And my teachers at school, I was so strong-willed. But the point is that I was not perfect. I was never really bad or really naughty. I mean, I've never done anything illegal or immoral or unethical, right? But at the same time, I'm not the picture perfect person for whom everything would just happen in this lifetime that would mean I would have any advantages that others would have or wouldn't have. Do you get what I mean? I'm sure you do. And if it can happen for me, it can happen for you. And it's happened for hundreds of my clients. And it's not just because it's me coaching my clients. So Anita, tell me something. With your clients, can you say the same? some of your clients and friends and colleagues have been watching Positive Prime and you've seen really interesting shifts that could be subtle, but are very powerful and have profound consequences and implications. Look at you nodding. True?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I've told you about one of my favorites. I always have favorites. I shouldn't. You're one of my favorites, but she is just like, she would never miss a minute of it. She spends a good 15 minutes a day doing it. And her income it tripled in 6 months. And she was really having problems. Her attitude, because I talked to her all the time, and her attitude was so different. Her tone of voice was different. I'm like, what happened? You know, because I saw such an appreciable change in her that you might not see if it's you, because you're in the picture. But when you're seeing it with someone else, you're like, wow. So yes, I've seen wonderful things happen. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Anita. All right. So wonderful things happen for you too. All right. That's all you need to know. So this is usually a half an hour show. No, it's not show. This is usually half an hour with me. I really don't want to go if you've got something that you really want me to do in terms of some energy healing for you, or you really have a question you need me to answer. This is a safe place. Anybody? You can always come back next week as well, because we'll be here, and you can come back with I should have asked that. You'll get off this. Should have asked that. That's okay. Make a note. Come back next week and ask it. Okay. All righty. Nicole, I can see you've got 15 minutes. Is it better to do 3 different sessions for 5 minutes each? Or the same one for that time? Well, let me just very quickly share the screen for you. And I'll show you here. So we're watching my super mix. First of all, I would say, make sure that you put it down as a goal, if you're not already, to be an annual member, because as an annual member, you actually do receive your own personal super mix, which means, guess what? You can have 3, 4, 5 sessions mixed and merged into one. So you can watch 15 minutes. So as you can see here, this is mine. Like, seriously, can you see this? 37 hours and 26 minutes. That's how long the session would play for on speed 1. Right, 37 hours. And so sometimes I'll actually have a Positive Prime session playing in the room just from the quantum physics point of view, but I'm a little crazy. Okay, so what you want to do is probably go to something called a super mix. So up here in this search area, if you're a subscriber of Positive Prime, you have access to super mixes, okay? And so you find super mixes by actually going up here. You won't find them over here. They're not available to everyone on the planet. So super mixes, you go up here into the search area and you do, I would do a health super mix, or I would do a financial super mix, or I would do a modulating and boosting your immune system. There's also one on emotional healing. There's one on business success. If you've got a direct sales business or a multi-level marketing or a network marketing or affiliate marketing business, you might want to watch this direct sales success super mix. And then there's lots of other sessions that you'll put in if you put super. I love this, becoming your superhero. Aaron is gorgeous as a human being. Really, really, really lovely. I just have to tell you this. There's a story about Aaron. Actually, do you know what? Let me go over here to Positive Prime Stories. Maybe, and I'm going to put this in the link, in the chat, this link, positiveprime.com/stories-2. It's loading. It's a page with a lot on it. So we, every now and again, through our podcast, interview people, and then we write up their story. And then, of course, we email you all about the story. So if you're on our email database, you'll actually receive access to this. But there's this story down here. If you go down here, 6 Cents and Aaron. So let me just go back here and show you. Click on that. Aaron actually has a condition, a genetic condition that he was born with, that basically means that he is vision impaired. He literally cannot see, and he's losing his eyesight, excuse me, more permanently, and more of it. So he might be able to only see like a small percentage instead of 100%, and for actually only small amounts of the day, and depending upon the light. Anyway, it's a long story. So if you go down here, you can actually watch Aaron's peak performance session. Now, what is remarkable is that he is actually an elite athlete. And so he actually does triathlons. A person who has perfect vision might ride the bike and guide him inside these guide rails for him being able to ride the bike even though he's vision impaired. Well, he has actually been using positive prime as a tool for healing miraculously, and I mean miraculously in the true sense of the word. And then he sent me a message the other day, the little cutie, and he said, hey, guess what, Kim? I went to this healer in the United Kingdom. You have to know about her. And I had perfect vision for 1 hour, absolutely pure perfect vision. You have got to learn about this, Kim. You've got to learn about this woman. And so he hasn't had perfect vision for 1 minute, let alone 1 hour, for decades, right? And he truly believes there is magic and a mystery in positive prime that we don't yet even understand, that because it was this divine download for me, there's like this magic in the formula that makes it miraculous. It's a very big statement from him. So if you then scroll down here, you click on his interview or the excerpts from his interview, but you can go all the way down and you can actually watch the full interview and you will literally hear him talking about this. I would encourage you to do so. And so in the chat, I actually put in the stories link. And so that will give you access to go and see all the people that we featured in stories. There's many more coming, by the way, many more coming. And this is just, I think it's good food for the soul to listen to these people's stories and to watch their sessions. But wait till you actually also from this page, you listen to Aaron's session. I'll do the little bit. He had special music created for himself that is infused with healing energy. And they've actually been testing and measuring this particular music. And it might be the case that we end up actually having a range of this music available for all positive prime subscribers. It's way beyond binaural beats, way beyond brain entrainment. It's way beyond sound therapy. It's like a combination of all of that and more. And this is his super mix. He's a remarkable human being. And we're very proud that he's a positive prime professional leader and he's contributed his wisdom to our platform, and it's there and it's available to you, so please go take advantage of it. Did you hear that? On that note, do you know what I think? I think I'm going to pause that. I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. Love you all. Thanks for being here. And I'm going to actually go watch that session and feel that music and have it actually do some healing for me too on a vibrational level. See you again soon. Bye.